Hi, my name's John Dearman. I'm a D'Addario artist, and I'm a member of the Los Angeles Guitar Quartet with my mates since 1980. I'm here today to talk a little bit about a favorite technical exercise that I give to my students and to myself, actually, in many cases. It has to do with trying to correct issues with evenness, tonal evenness, and temporal or time evenness when you're doing arpeggios. It's a big problem that I see. So if everybody knows this passage from Villa-Lobos. If you have, let's say, the passage in the fourth prelude, you have this arpeggio. So that passage there, what I tend to hear from my students all the time is that when they try to play fast, they start losing the evenness and they get that sort of thing, kind of a galloping. Happens also in tremolo, raschiatos. There's lots of examples of that. This is one solution that I like to use to address that problem. So let's just take this first chord right now, and what we're going to do is work with accents. So the sort of most obvious kind of natural accent pattern you're going to get is if you, since it's beginning with the thumb, that's sort of naturally going to create an accent. And that's what most people are going to sort of inherently, naturally do. So that's fine. But let's take that apart a little bit. And what I want you to do is to first begin with the thumb like that, but play the fingers very, very quietly and with very little effort and very little tension. And with the thumb, play with a very, not forceful, but a very full sound and a very positive kind of motion with your thumb. So you're going to be going. Easy enough. So, next step, let's work with each finger in turn. So we'll begin now with the index finger and play. Again, the key thing at this level of doing the exercise is to make sure that the finger that's accenting is playing with a lot of velocity, a lot of very positive type of stroke, and that the other fingers are playing very, very light. It's also a great exercise for developing relaxation in your hand. So. And then you can play with the tempo of it. Okay. Middle finger, a little bit trickier. Finally, the ring finger. Now be sure to pay close attention to the two fingers or the thumb that is on either side of the accented finger, because those are the two that are most likely to be influenced by the energy that's being created by the accenting finger. All right, so that's pretty simple. You can certainly work with that at different tempos and probably have some success with it. But the next level to take it to is that because this is a 4-note pattern, it's working in groups of 4. So what I thought was fun to do, and actually very helpful, is to take the accents and rotate them throughout the pattern. So maybe easier to demonstrate than to explain. So if I think in a 5-beat or a 5-note accent pattern, it's going to rotate the accents amongst the fingers. So if I play in 5, what's happening is you're going to hear thumb, index, middle, ring. And you can do it in threes also, which will give you the reverse. It'll be thumb, thumb, ring, middle, index. That'll be. It can be applied also, by the way, to tremolo. One of the ways I like to practice tremolo is on a single string. So same drill. That's the thumb, and of course with index. Sorry. Middle. Oops. And ring. Rotate them, you're going to get in groups of 5. Again, you can do groups of 3 will be I think the more you can create a big difference between the accented note with the playing with a really vigorous stroke and a big sound and a quick motion, and on the other hand have the unaccented notes be very quiet and with a very low energy level, the more it's going to promote, I think, especially start developing a real ability to play with a lot of relaxation in your hands, and it's going to give you very even tremolo, because I think when people get into this sort of galloping, that kind of thing, it's kind of hard to do in a way. It's because things are so out of balance in their hand, they're basically just, like, say, playing with their thumb, and then the other fingers, they sort of rake across the strings. But this way, with doing the accents and the rotating accents especially, each finger in turn is getting a chance to sort of lead the others, so you create a kind of independence in it.